Hey guys, welcome to Teal House Farm. If you're new here, my name is Laura and I am the mom of 6 and wife to Sam, and we live on a small 10-acre homestead where I focus on homesteading, homemaking, and homeschooling. And today I'm going to tell you how I managed to save my family a truckload of money just by 8 chores that I do every day or every other day, if not every day. It's super simple. But how you spend your time every day and what you put your energy into can really save a lot of money for your family. It's hard being a single income family, especially as a large family. But by working hard to reduce our expenditures significantly, we are able to really live under that line and live comfortably, even though our income is actually relatively low. In this total, I am not including the massive amount of money I save by pressure canning, or the savings from buying everything in bulk and finding convenient ways to store it all. I'm not even going to talk about how I save my family more than $40,000 a year by staying home with the children and not paying for childcare. I'm just talking about chores. Things I do every day or every other day to save a substantial amount of money. I'm going to keep the total running in the bottom corner here so you can see the savings associated with each activity I do. And also, if you're really curious how I got my numbers and my math, I have that all in the description so you know I'm not just making it up. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Here are 8 things that I do regularly to save my family tons of money. Let's start with the simple chores. So one of the simplest things I do that saves a considerable amount of money over the year is that I use all reusable storage and leftover containers. I use mason jars, I use silicone Ziploc style bags, and I use bees wrap. So I'm not buying disposable Ziploc bags, I'm not buying saran wrap. I still buy aluminum foil sometimes just for cooking needs, but not for storage needs. And these 3 things together save me somewhere between $70 and $80 a year. Now if you didn't want to buy anything to be able to start saving money, you could just be using your leftover butter tubs and things like that. The reason I don't do that is, 1, I find they crack easily, so you can reuse them a few times, but then they end up in the trash can anyway. And 2, I hate Tupperwares with mismatching lids. It is the most annoying thing in the world. So the mason jars have 2 lid size options, so it's really easy to always be able to find a lid for my leftover container. The silicone bags are super easy to clean, and so they're great for when I pack lunch boxes for the girls. And I already hand wash all of our dishes anyway, so it is not an extra chore at all. Easy way to start saving money right away. Next are my rags. I wash rags at least twice a week. And by using rags for the vast majority of my cleaning needs, I'm not buying paper towels. Before I started using rags for everything, I was going through probably 4 to 5 paper towel rolls a week, and that was before we had this many kids, so I can only imagine how many I'd be going through now. It would be at least 1 a day with all of the spills that we have around here. I'm putting the average savings for this at $364, which anticipates that I'm using about 4 rolls a week, which is a pretty conservative estimate. Now, for those of you who want to know, well, how about the cost of washing everything? Do think it's important to mention that 1, we are on a well, so I'm not paying the city for water, and 2, I make all of my own laundry soap. I'll link the video below, and that costs me only about $20 a year. I'm not spending an exorbitant amount of money on laundry soap. And speaking of saving a little bit of money through extra laundry, about 3 to 4 times a week, I wash diapers. We have 2 in diapers right now, and that saves me about $1,700 a year by only using disposable diapers at night or when we go on long trips. Everywhere else I use cloth diapers, and I wash them. Right now it's 3 to 4 times a week because that pail fills up fast with 2 in diapers. And again, I make my own soap. I do not buy the really expensive cloth diaper laundry soap. In my experience, it is absolutely not worth it. My homemade soap gets my diapers nice and clean. They don't smell. It gets the stains out. They get dried outside on the laundry line, which is also completely free. It's a great way to save money. It really adds up quickly. Number 4, I recheck my weekly meal plan against the leftovers and other things that I actually have in my fridge, especially your perishable items. The average American family throws away almost $1,800 worth of food a year. That's an incredible amount of money that can be saved just by some really good planning and keeping track of what you have and making sure that you're using it all in a timely manner. And for number 5, I use the laundry line when possible for drying my clothes. Running the dryer costs somewhere between 30 to 72 cents depending on what type of dryer you have and how large it is and how long of a cycle that you're running. I actually used a energy monitor on my dryer to figure out about how much wattage we were using to run it, and it came into about 40 cents a load for how I use the dryer. So by drying laundry on the line throughout the year, any day that it is sunny enough to get it dry, and for me that averages about 10 loads a week, about 2 loads a day. On a really sunny day, I can get more out there, so it evens out, and it's accounting for a rainy day or 2 in the week. So accounting for about 10 loads a week of using the laundry line outside and not the dryer to dry our clothes, I save us $416 a year. Number 6, a daily chore is that I check and water my greenhouses. I have 2 very simple DIY greenhouses. They are not beautiful, but they grow a great amount of food. And I kind of struggled with how to put a dollar amount on this one. I know it saves us money because obviously it's food that we're not buying, but it gets kind of funky trying to figure out exactly how many dollars and cents. So I didn't add any for this one, but I just wanted to mention it that even with a small space, a small DIY cheap greenhouse can grow a considerable amount of food for your family and lower your food bill and also improve your nutrition. For number 7, I tend my compost pile. We collect all of our compostable food in a 5-gallon bucket that I keep hidden under the sink, out of sight, out of mind. It does not smell because it has a nice tight lid. And when that bucket gets full, it goes outside into our very simple compost pile. Don't let composting make you feel stressed out. If you Google it, you will see tons of options and all the science and math. People have been composting since the beginning of time before they even knew what science and math was. You do not need to get fancy. You can simply compost your veggie scraps, egg shells, non-meat products in a pile somewhere and throw some leaves in there. Everything organic will eventually break down. The science and math allows you to do it faster. It allows you to compost things like meat and dairy that typically wouldn't be in a compost pile because you can get it hotter with the right proportions. Start simple. Don't stress yourself out, and it'll save you money in the future. When you go to plant your garden, you won't be having to buy compost or any type of fertilizer to improve your soil. I'm going to say it saves me about $50 a year. That also is a little hard to come up with a number for because it really depends on how the garden year went the year before, what the weather's been like, and all sorts of crazy factors. So I'll just say that it saves me buying a few bags of compost every year by using my home compost in our garden beds. And last, number 8, a biggie for us is that we do not run a large HVAC system to keep our house warm in the winter. Every day, about 6 to 7 months out of the year, Sam or myself will go out and haul in a big pile of wood in order to run our wood stove all day and all night. The amount of money that you save will really vary. We are not using an outdoor boiler that needs electricity to push it through our house. This is a very simple cast iron stove, gets hot, the air kind of drafts through the house because we live in an old drafty farmhouse. We know that the people who owned this house before us used a propane furnace and that they spent $500 every 3 to 4 weeks on propane. Now, I don't know how hot they're keeping the house, but I do know that this is a very drafty old house. And while that number seems ridiculous, I could absolutely understand how that happens during the coldest months of the year. And we don't want to pay that kind of money. So we just use the wood stove and we keep it pumping all day. And there they were, 8 things that I do to save money. I do want to add to this that if you are watching this and you are a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad, that you are a valuable contributor to your family. You are an economizer, you are a household manager who provides essential services to your family. You are not merely a child watcher. You are not merely a button pusher on the washing machine. What you do is very important, and it really does help to economize your family's expenses. One of the best pieces of advice that I ever received was to treat my job as a mom like I would if it was a job I was going out and doing every day. To educate myself, to learn how to become a better home manager and a better homemaker so that I could continue to improve upon my ability to economize my household. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time.